Among the great coalitions of spacefaring powers, humans ranked near the bottom of every known metric. Their ships were small. Their weapons lacked elegance. Their biology appeared fragile. Their short lifespans suggested impatience and emotional instability. Even their homeworld gravity was considered excessive, a flaw rather than a strength. The concord of sovereign races labeled humanity as a minor species, useful for labor, acceptable as traders, irrelevant in war. The judgment was unanimous. When the Virex Dominion began its expansion through the outer reach, no one expected humans to matter. The Virex were ancient. Their fleets were vast. Their soldiers were bred for conquest, reinforced with layered bone and neural combat meshes. They had crushed civilizations that had ruled star systems for millennia. Entire cultures vanished under their advance. The Concord watched. It always did. Human space lay directly in the Dominion's path. The diplomats assumed humanity would submit or shatter. Either outcome would delay the Virex only briefly. The first. Virex fleet arrived at the edge of human territory with overwhelming force. Thousands of war vessels, planet breakers, carrier moons. Enough power to extinguish stars if necessary. They broadcast a single demand. Surrender your systems. Disarm your fleets. Accept governance. The response from Earth was short. No, the Virex commanders were confused. Humans had no strategic advantage. Their numbers were insignificant. Their technology inferior? Defiance made no sense. The invasion began within the hour. Human border colonies fell quickly. Outposts burned. Civilian stations were seized. The Concord observers recorded the events with clinical detachment. Then something unexpected occurred. The human retreat was orderly. They did not scatter in panic. They did not beg for mercy. They withdrew with precision, abandoning territory while preserving personnel. Supply lines vanished before the Virex could sever them. Traps detonated behind retreating fleets. Data core self-erased. The Virex advanced deeper. They believed they were winning. The humans let them at a system known as Heliosgate. The humans made their stand. The Concord expected a final collapse. Instead, the battlefield changed the galaxy forever. The Virex fleet entered the system in standard formation. Sensors showed minimal resistance. A few human ships. Old designs. Thin armor. Weak power signatures. The Virex commander ordered immediate annihilation. That was when the human fleet powered up energy signatures spiked beyond predicted limits. Human ships unfolded structures hidden beneath hull plating. Heat levels climbed into lethal ranges. Reactors pushed far beyond safe operational thresholds. The Concord. Observers leaned forward. Human vessels accelerated at impossible rates. Maneuvers defied known inertia tolerances. Ships took damage that should have crippled them and continued fighting without hesitation. Human weapons fired not in elegant patterns, but in relentless storms. Kinetic rounds tore through Virex armor. Missiles detonated at point-blank range. Boarding craft slammed into enemy holes with suicidal force. The Virex formations fractured. The humans did not fight like conquerors. They fought like survivors. Then the ground war began. On Helios Prime, the Virex deployed their elite legions. Towering warriors, clad in living armor. Each soldier worth 100 lesser species. They encountered human infantry. No genetic enhancement. No ritual armor. Just compact figures in reinforced suits. The Virex charged the humans held. The first clash stunned every observer. Humans absorbed blows that shattered stone. They rose again with broken bones and kept fighting. They closed distances aggressively. They used terrain with brutal efficiency. When ammunition ran dry, they fought hand-to-hand with ferocity bordering on madness. Medical scans revealed horrifying truths. Human pain thresholds were extreme. Adrenal systems allowed them to function while critically injured. Their psychology favored endurance over self-preservation. They did not break when faced with overwhelming odds. They adapted Virex. Commanders adjusted tactics. It did not matter. Human units fought even when cut off. Even when surrounded. Even when death was inevitable, they delayed, they damaged, they bled the enemy dry. The Concord databases began updating threat assessments. Too late, then the war gods awakened. The humans revealed their final doctrine. Deep within their fleets were vessels never shown in diplomacy. Massive constructs built around singular purpose. They were not warships in the traditional sense. They were sacrifices. Human engineers had long accepted a grim reality. They could never outbuild the ancient empires. They could never match raw power. So they built weapons that embraced loss. The war god vessels ignited their cores and burned themselves apart from the inside. They overloaded space-time drives. They turned themselves into controlled catastrophes. One such vessel entered the heart of the Varex Armada. It detonated. Space twisted. Fleets vanished. Energy rippled across light years. The Vorex lost a third of their force in a single moment. The Concord screamed in panic. The humans did not celebrate. They continued across multiple systems. War god vessels were deployed. Each one a calculated loss. Each one shattering enemy momentum. Human fleets advanced behind the shock waves. Exploiting chaos with ruthless efficiency, the Virex Dominion faltered. No species had ever forced them into retreat. Humans did, on the final battlefield. The Varex High Command made its last stand. Their greatest warlord faced the human commander known simply as Alex. No titles. No genetic prestige. No ancient lineage. Just a human. The warlord demanded explanation. Why fight when extinction was possible? Alex answered calmly. Humans had evolved on a hostile world, predators, disease, natural disasters, constant struggle. Survival was never guaranteed. They did not worship gods of war, they became them when necessary. The final engagement ended the Dominion, the Concord, revised every doctrine it held. Humanity was no longer classified as feeble. They were labeled as a deterrent, a species that should never be cornered, never underestimated, never forced into desperation, because when humans had nothing left to lose, they awakened something ancient within themselves, and the galaxy learned the cost of calling them weak.